lady. Go ahead, Luis.
Oh,
Tell me
no,
why.
wait a minute. I meant not sold. Sorry
I was
about
gonna
that.
say, I was like, if you think that agents should be saying yes to
No, no,
every
no, no,
client
no. Sorry,
request,
let's start over.
no, don't even start over. Take it. Here's the thing. No, obviously, agents, I am not sold on the idea that they should be saying yes to every client request, particularly because you look, there are people who I call them the ones that are unwell. There are people that we work with in this world that are unwell. And if they're unwell, my job is not to placate that unwell, nor is it my job to make myself unwell trying to accommodate that unwell. So if you have people that you're working with that are unwell and these requests are ridiculous, they're out of line, they're unnecessary. No, absolutely not. You got to set those boundaries up front.
And I agree with that. Agents should not say yes to everything, and they should not really they should not sacrifice their family or their health or well-being because they try to please someone constantly and agree to every silly request from their clients. I totally believe in that. They have to build boundaries and they have to educate. Coming back to the education, they have to educate their clients what can and cannot be done, and maybe not take someone as a client. If someone insists that their house should be 20% overpriced and they demand and they're giving you only 3 months to sell it, and they have so many requests and so many ifs and buts, then don't take that client as a client. Because you're going to lose so much of your energy that and positive energy that you would not be able to provide someone else who is worthwhile and worth your attention and your respect. But you would be totally drained by the time you get to the clients you enjoy working with. So I think it is very important.
I think, but the scenario you just gave, though, my compensation is based on a sliding scale. If they're unwell, their expectations are unrealistic, if they have wild thoughts in their heads about what's going to happen, and I've done my job as a consultant, advisor, educator, right, an advocate, and I've told them what reality is and they want to live outside of reality, guess what? Well, my compensation, let's say hypothetically, it's 3%. Well, my compensation for them is 5%. Let's go. Give me the listing. If you think there's magic unicorns pooping rainbows in your backyard and you're going to go over and sell this house for $1 million over asking or 500 over asking or whatever it is, great, let's do it. But my compensation goes up because you're going to make me work twice as hard when that comes down again to remarket the property to people who actually might want to buy it.
Well, I disagree. And you know why, Lance? Because why take the property that is totally unrealistic? You will be pushed by the seller to have 5 open houses and showings and broker open houses, which will never bring, spend money on marketing, which will never bring any results. If I know in advance that that house will never be sold for that price in 3 months, then either I have to educate them and change the terms, maybe have 5% versus 3%. But in addition to that, I have to make sure that I'm not wasting my time. If they're going to suck my blood and they're going to ruin my day from 8 o'clock in the morning and call me all day long, regardless what I have in my document, I am not picking up the phone between 2 and 5, as an example, and they just call me every 3 minutes and leave me text messages and so on and just drain me.
All that's
Then
true.
maybe I shouldn't have that as a
I don't disagree, but you missed what I said. I said my compensation was going to be 5%. You think they're going to go for that? No, they're not. So we're never going to have that. But why did I say that my compensation was 5%? Well, because when they go, whoa, 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 why is it 5%? Well, because what you're asking for is going to cost me thousands of dollars of marketing something that I know isn't going to move very well. So therefore, if we ever do go down, you see what I'm saying? I have to use a leverage point to point that out to them. But on the whole, no, I don't think we should be, as an industry, saying yes to every request. I think it cheapens who we are and what we do.